Let's just make sure the volume is good and make sure that you guys can hear me and there aren't any bugs or glitches. And then I can get right into this. My first ever predictions for the season. Well, technically just on YouTube. If you guys follow me on Award Expert, I've been doing them since March, but this is my first time doing them on YouTube. Let's just make sure the volume. Yeah, everything sounds great. Okay. And just get right into this. Hey guys, it is Christian here, and today I am going to be doing my first Oscar predictions on YouTube for the season. Before I get into this, please like, subscribe, and tell me what you think of this live stream, and tell me your own predictions. So yeah, I'm going to be doing my very first Oscar predictions on YouTube. I've actually been doing them since March on Award Expert, but I haven't had the drive to do an actual video until now. And today we're only going to do above the line. When I do my next prediction video in August, I'm going to be doing every category, all the below the lines, not the shorts. Those are not going to be until the final predictions in January. But for now, we're just going to do picture, director, acting, and screenplay categories. I have my predictions here, and then on a separate tab, I have some notes about the movies so I can describe them because I don't have any visuals here. So just to let you guys be aware of what these movies are and stuff, you guys are going to know a couple of them. More than a couple, actually. But we're going to start with Best Picture. This one's probably going to take the longest because of all the movies I have to talk about. I have to talk about 20 movies. So yeah. We're going to start with my number one, which is Wild Horse 9. This is the new movie directed and written by Martin McDonagh, who is known for In Bruges, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, and The Banshees of Inisherin. The latter two were pretty big awards contenders. 3 Billboards was definitely number 2 in Best Picture. Banshees could have been number 2 or could have been number 3 or something. But yeah, this movie is set before the 1973 Chilean coup, and it follows 2 CIA officers as they are dispatched to Easter Island, and a lot of stuff happens. They come across these 2 students, and this movie's going to have a lot of political commentary, I guess. It's going to be funny. There's going to be great performances in there. The 2 CIA officers are played by John Malkovich and Sam Rockwell, and also stars Steve Buscemi, Parker Posey. Yeah, so great cast. Martin McDonagh, he's had 2 big award contenders in the past, but he hasn't won anything yet. He won a live-action short Oscar before, I'm pretty sure, but he's never won for writing or directing or Best Picture. So this could be his year where he finally wins, and this movie's set before the Chilean coup in 1973. So there could be strong political aspects up to the movie. It could be funny. There could be strong acting prospects. I feel like it has the goods. And it could probably premiere at maybe Venice or TIFF or something. So I think that's a pretty strong number 1. We'll see if it actually turns out. Then my number 2 is La Bola Negra, or The Black Ball is its English title, which premiered at Cannes. It got very good, great reviews. Won Best Director at Cannes. It's directed by Javier Calvo and Javier Ambrosi, and the plot is set in 1932, 1937, and 2017, and explores the interconnected lives of 3 gay men. So it's a very strong queer film. It has an ensemble cast. Penelope Cruz is in there, also Glenn Close, and a lot of newcomers as well. This could maybe win. Netflix has this movie. Netflix has never won before, so maybe this could be their first win in Best Picture. So yeah, I could see it winning. I could also see it playing at some fall festivals, and maybe being one that the audience likes. I hear this is a big audience hit. This isn't just a critics thing like Power of the Dog and Roma. So it could be a strong audience hit. Maybe critics already like it. Maybe it could win like director or screenplay or editing and stuff. I'm gonna be doing text in August, but maybe it could win if it's winning Best Picture. But I think it could win, but I also think Wild Horse 9 could win as well. I'm also like not sure like how this is gonna do at Guilds. Like, is this gonna win PGA, DGA? Like, is it gonna win that? Who knows? But I do think that Bola Negra could win Best Picture, but we'll just have to see how it does for the rest of the year. It premiered at Cannes. I think it's gonna be on Netflix in December. I have Wikipedia page open, so I won't want to see it. Let's see. Yeah, has a 4-week theatrical window starting on November 6th and debuts on Netflix December 4th. You know they're going to have this at fall festivals and could maybe place for People's Choice Award at TIFF. Who knows? Yeah, I think that's a strong win contender. Next, you have the big one, The Odyssey from Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan obviously had a huge awards year with his last film, Oppenheimer, which he won him a Best Picture Oscar and a Best Director Oscar. A part of me is skeptical that they're going to award him so quickly again in Best Picture, at least. We'll see if he wins Director. Iñárritu won twice in a row for The Revenant. But I'm skeptical that they're going to do Best Picture again for a Nolan movie. But this movie's coming out very soon. The early reactions have been amazing. We'll see if the reviews even match that. But this movie seems to have all the goods going for it. Picture, director, screenplay, acting contenders like Matt Damon, Anne Hathaway, Robert Pattinson, Tom Holland. A slew of tech, cinematography, editing, production design, casting. Forgot to mention that. Costumes, makeup. Could get all the techs that a movie can get. We're going to talk about Michael shortly, a little bit. But yeah, The Odyssey, I think this movie has all the goods going for it. So as long as it's very great, I don't think it's going to be as well received as Oppenheimer or even Dunkirk. But I think as long as the goods are there, it'll be in. But I'm still not sure if it would actually win because Nolan already just won with Oppenheimer. Then we have Project Hail Mary. You guys don't know what this movie is. Directed by Phil Lord, Chris Miller, starring Ryan Gosling, Sandra Hüller. Huge movie, came out in March, made a lot of money. This movie can get various nominations: screenplay, actor, text. And this movie was the defining movie of the first quarter of the year, I'd say. So yeah, I think Project Hail Mary is going to get in. I don't think it's going to win. I just think it came out a little bit too early. I mean, I know Everything Everywhere won, and that came out in March, but I feel like the competition that I already just mentioned, like Wild Horse 9, La Bola Negra, maybe even some other movies that I have yet to mention, I think are going to overshadow Project Hail Mary. But it could still win a few techs, maybe visual effects. It wins sound. We'll see. Yeah, I think Project Hail Mary will get in. Don't think it's going to win because it came out a bit early, but we'll see. Although it does appear to be a trend that Best Picture winners. One Battle came out in September. Nomadland was a Fall Fest movie. But then, like, Coda was at Sundance, came out in August. Then Everything Everywhere came out in March. Oppenheimer was July. Anora was at Cannes. So Best Picture winners premiering early in the year has happened. We'll see if it happens this year, though. My number 5 is Digger. This is another huge one. This is directed by Alejandro G. Iñárritu, director of Birdman, The Revenant. He's had Babel, Bardo, which was an awards flop, got cinematography nomination, but the other ones I mentioned, Beautiful, which got Javier Bardem nominated. So yeah, he's done a lot of movies. Birdman won Best Picture. He won director for it, screenplay. And then The Revenant, he won director again for, and that movie won Leonardo DiCaprio his Oscar. And Digger follows the most powerful man in the world, who races to prove he is humanity's savior before the disaster he unleashed destroys everything. And that most powerful man is Digger Rockwell, played by none other than Tom Cruise. So maybe there could be a narrative to emerge for Tom Cruise to win Best Actor. He's going to be in prosthetics. He's going to have a wacky voice. He's going to be doing crazy things. This movie's going to be a huge satire in the vein of movies like Don't Look Up, maybe. It could be a little divisive. We'll see if that hurts it, but we'll see. But yeah, I think it's going to be satirical in the way that like Don't Look Up, Triangle of Sadness were. And I've heard that the sets are like Poor Things level sets, so that's cool. And besides Tom Cruise, this movie has a huge cast: Sandra Hüller, John Goodman, Jesse Plemons, Riz Ahmed, Michael Stuhlbarg. So yeah, strong cast, strong director. It's being shot by Emmanuel Lubezki. Has a huge budget, $125 million, and it's also not playing at fall festivals, so that's a little weird. And it's coming out in October. But we'll just have to see what happens with Digger. I could see it being an awards flop, but I think Iñárritu's had so much goodwill recently with The Revenant and Birdman. Bardo was a flop, but we'll just have to see how this turns out. At number 6, I have Dune Part 3. I guess you can make the argument for this maybe winning. If it's easily the best one, but I'm not sure if it will be the best one. But yeah, directed by Denis Villeneuve, has a huge cast: Timothée Chalamet, Zendaya, Jason Momoa, Florence Pugh, Rebecca Ferguson. They're all coming back. Anya Taylor-Joy, Robert Pattinson, Javier Bardem also coming back from the last movie. Robert Pattinson's playing a new character. But yeah, this is the third movie in Denis Villeneuve's Dune trilogy. And the last 2 movies got nominated for Best Picture. The first movie got 10 nominations, 6 wins. Second one did worse, even though it was received better. It got 5 nominations, 2 wins. So I feel like if this one's not as good as the other 2, they're not going to nominate it in as many categories. Maybe it just gets like 4 nominations in Best Picture. Maybe it could be like Avatar: Fire and Ash, where it's a third movie. They already did the last 2. The second one was already diminishing returns. So maybe this one they just don't care to nominate it. But I think it's going to be an amazing film, and it makes a lot of sense to have in. Could get score, could get sound, visual effects, production design, maybe. Skeptical to predict in any categories where 2 missed. Even if the first one got in, like screenplay, costumes, makeup. But yeah, it's based on Dune Messiah. I do think this one's gonna have a lot of differences though. And the footage that they showed at CinemaCon was very well received. So I think Dune Part 3 is gonna get in for now. And then at number 7, I have Fjord, which is from Neon. It won the Palme d'Or. Directed and written by Christian Mungiu, and stars Sebastian Stan and Renate Reinsve as a Romanian-Norwegian conservative couple who face scrutiny after moving to the wife's progressive remote Norwegian hometown. And it involves their characters being suspected of disturbing behavior regarding their children, and their lives are thrown into chaos as they become the center of scrutiny. Sounds interesting. I think this movie could spark a lot of conversation with its themes. It was received well at Cannes. It obviously won the Palme d'Or. I remember being a little bit skeptical when the reviews came out, but then it won the Palme d'Or, and I was like, yeah, I'll probably get in. Even it doesn't even have to get the actors nominated. It could still get in off of director, screenplay, international feature. But yeah, I'll also have the performances from Sebastian Stan and Renate Reinsve, which I've heard are a little more reserved, but I have both of them getting in. Yeah, I think Fjord, just off of winning the Palme d'Or, that makes it a decent bet, but I don't think it's guaranteed to get nominated. Then at number 8, I have The Debut, which is the new movie from Jesse Eisenberg. This is his 3rd directorial movie. His last one was A Real Pain. That got pretty close to Best Picture. Kieran Culkin won for it, and it got a screenplay nomination, but it did not get Best Picture at the end of the day. But yeah, this movie is about a shy woman who is unexpectedly cast in a local production of an original musical, and under the spell of the strong-willed director, who's played by Paul Giamatti, and the shy woman's played by Julianne Moore. But she loses herself in the role and the high-stakes world of this community theater production. So it seems like Paul Giamatti is going to play like this tough teacher character, and then Julianne Moore is the main character. The movie also stars people like Halle Bailey and Patrick Fabian from Better Call Saul, Cara Buono. Strong cast. Jesse Eisenberg's directing, writing, producing. Emma Stone and her husband Dave McCary are also producing. This could be a huge hit at fall festivals at TIFF. I could see that. And I could see Julianne Moore and Paul Giamatti giving possibly career best performances. We'll have to see. But yeah, I think the debut makes a lot of sense. This is probably going to be this could be A24's biggest vehicle. This is an A24 movie. I should have mentioned all the distributors. Wild Horse 9 is Warner Brothers. No, Wild Horse 9 is Searchlight. Wild Horse 9 is Searchlight. La Bola Negra is Netflix. The Odyssey's Universal. Project Hail Mary's MGM. Diggers Warner Brothers. Dune's also Warner Brothers. Fjord is Neon. And then the debut is A24. And then my number 9 obsession is Focus Features. Focus Features usually get something in. And Obsession has just been a huge phenomenon. It's made $400 million on a $750,000 budget. Indy Navarrette's giving a huge breakthrough performance. She's amazing. She could get nominated for Best Actress or Supporting Actress, wherever she gets campaign. Obviously, you get screenplay, casting. They cast a lot of newcomers. So yeah, Obsession's such a huge deal. It is like scarier than a lot of the horror films that the Oscars have gone for. Maybe it's more in line with Weapons, but Weapons was the third priority, or fourth if you want to count F1 as a Warner Brothers thing. You can either consider that to be Warner Brothers or Apple. But there was already a huge like horror phenomenon with Sinners that was already locked, so it was a little bit harder for Weapons to get in there. Although Amy Madigan won, so there's that. Yeah, I think Obsession, with the movie, that's how huge it's been. I think it could do some things. Could get Critics' Choice, PGA, Golden Globe Comedy. Indy Navarrete could get in everywhere in Best Actress or Supporting Actress. Yeah, I hope it does well. It's my favorite movie of the year so far, so I hope it is able to be strong throughout the entire remainder of the year. But we'll just have to see. We'll have to see. Yeah, this is Focus Features. This is their highest grossing movie of all time. Yeah, I think Obsession, a lot of great things going for it. I hope it gets in. And then my number 10, I have The Invite, which is directed by Olivia Wilde, with a screenplay from Will McCormick and Rashida Jones, and is an English-language remake of the 2020 Spanish film The People Upstairs. It stars Seth Rogen, Olivia Wilde, Penelope Cruz, and Edward Norton. Premiered at Sundance, but it just came out on June 26th with a limited theatrical release. So it's about like these two couples that like Seth Rogen and Olivia Wilde are like a couple, and then Penelope Cruz and Edward Norton are as well. And then they come together, and I think like some crazy things happen. I watched the trailer. The trailer looks really good. I'll watch it when I get the chance to. We'll see how the summer release date is for it. Like, it may hurt that it already came out. So maybe A24, this is also A24, maybe they could be prioritizing the debut or Club Kid, which I think they're going to have at fall festivals. But maybe the event's like Past Lives, and it could still get in. I think the acting prospects could be strong. Screenplay, I think it's getting in. So yeah, I think as long as it continues to be in the conversation as one of the best of the year, it has really good reviews already. I think it could stay in the conversation despite the summer release date. But even though I did mention Past Lives, look what happened with Sing Sing. That had a summer release date for May 24, and it ended up missing because they brought The Brutalist, and then they prioritized The Brutalist. So we'll see if that happens with the invite. But I think for now I'm going to have it in. One other movie I'm considering having in is Behemoth. This is from Tony Gilroy, who directed Michael Clayton, and is also the creator of Andor. I think he was also writer of Rogue One. And this movie stars Pedro Pascal, Olivia Wilde's also in this one, Will Arnett, Eva Victor from Sorry Baby, Matthew Lillard's in this. And it follows a conductor who's played by Pedro Pascal. I have to pull up the synopsis on IMDb because it's not on Wikipedia. It follows a musician from a family of musicians who returns to Los Angeles. The musician's played by Pedro Pascal. It's being described as a love letter to the music of the movies and the people who make it. I think this could be big. They could premiere this at Venice, and if it's really well received, it could get in. Pedro Pascal can get in. It can maybe get director, screenplay. So yeah, I think this could be big, although I don't really have too much justification to predict it over anything else in the top 10 right now. But it could get close. Next, I have All of a Sudden, which is directed by Ryosuke Hamaguchi, who directed Drive My Car, which got 4 Oscar nominations, including Best Picture, Director, Screenplay, and 1 International Feature. This movie follows the director of a nursing home who attempts to introduce a humane care technique known as humanitude in spite of resistance. And her life is changed when she meets a terminally ill Japanese playwright. I'm not sure if they're going to prioritize this over... I'm not sure if this is also Neon. I'm not sure if they're going to prioritize this over Fjord, but we'll see. It did get strong reviews out of... It actually got really strong reviews out of Cannes. So this is another Cannes movie. We'll see if they can get 2 in, like last year, but we'll just have to see. I think Fjord is probably the better bet because it seems to be the more politically relevant one. It's also one and also has the Palme d'Or. But we'll see if Ryosuke Hamaguchi could strike gold again with the Oscars. Then at number 13, I have Sense and Sensibility from Focus Features. This is another Focus Features. Directed by Georgia Oakley and adapted from Jane Austen's novel of the same name, which was already adapted into a 1995 film starring Emma Thompson. It stars Daisy Edgar-Jones, Esme Creed Miles, who is the daughter of Samantha Morton, who's in The Odyssey. It also stars Katrina Balfe. The trailer came out recently. I think it looks a little bit stale. Like maybe like it's been like we've been there, done that with this type of movie. So I can maybe see the Oscars snubbing it in favor of more like fresher things. Maybe I don't want to accept that another Focus Features movie can get in at the expense of Obsession because I love Obsession so much. So like hopefully if they get this in, Obsession doesn't have to be sacrificed for it. But yeah, Sense and Sensibility, it looks like Oscar bait. Could get like costumes, production design maybe. They could maybe have this at TIFF or Fall Festival. It's coming out in October. So we'll just have to see. Next time we do these predictions, it'll be in August. We'll have the festival lineups and all that. So we'll just have to see what happens with Sense and Sensibility. But I think it looks like a little bit like we've been there before, and the Academy may want to honor fresher things, like Obsession, which Focus has as well. So yeah. And then number 14, I have The Social Reckoning, written and directed by Aaron Sorkin, starring Mikey Madison, Jeremy Allen White, Jeremy Strong as Mark Zuckerberg, Wunmi Mosaku from Sinners. Bill Burr's also in there. So this is like kind of the sequel to The Social Network. It's just like a spiritual sequel, I think they called it, or whatever. It seems to not really be connected to the last movie at all. I think so. It follows the 2021 Facebook leak by whistleblower Frances. I'm not even. Mikey Madison is playing her. Frances Haugen, I'm gonna say, and then Jeff Horowitz is played by Jeremy Allen White. But yeah, follows that whole thing. I don't think the trailer looks that great. I think it looks a little bit stale. I think it looks very it kind of looks like an Oscar bait flop, but the performances seem okay. Mikey Madison seems to be doing good work in there. Jeremy Allen White seems to be playing himself, I guess. Seems to be doing what he does best. And then you have Jeremy Strong as Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg, he seems to be doing a lot. He could probably get nominated as long as the movie isn't a huge flop. Like if the movie premieres at Venice or something and gets like a 40 on Rotten Tomatoes or whatever, I'm gonna say it goose eggs. And I am kind of getting a flop vibe from it. Like I don't think it's gonna get Best Picture or Screenplay. I think like for now I'm gonna say Mikey Madison, Jeremy Strong get in, but they could flip if the movie heavily slips. But yeah, this comes out October 9th. I think I heard rumors that it's going to be at Venice. So we'll just have to see what happens with The Social Reckoning. Then I have Club Kid, which is directed by and starring Jordan Firstman in his directorial debut. This is another queer movie. It was at Cannes. And it follows the life of washed-up underground party promoter Peter as his life takes an unexpected turn when he's forced to care for Arlo, a 10-year-old son he never knew he had. This could maybe get screenplay. I could see this actually placing for the People's Choice Award at TIFF if they premiere there, which I think they're going to. This is another A24 movie. A24 has this. They have the debut. They have the invite. We'll see if this gets any priority from them, but it was received very well at Cannes. Wasn't in competition, but got received very well. So yeah, maybe this could happen, but I'm betting that they're gonna prioritize the debut and the invite a little bit more. Ooh, next we could talk about Michael. Huge biopic. Michael. The reviews are terrible. I initially thought the reviews were gonna kill this movie, but the audiences love it. It's gonna make $1 billion. But I could see like critics, they're gonna I could see like I actually had Michael in a little bit ago because I was like the audience loves it. Spike Lee's come out in support of it. Like if the reviews were better, like this would probably be in, but the reviews are terrible. We'll just have to see if this can survive the horrible reviews or if it can't and they're gonna want to nominate more stuff that's actually good. Like I had a feeling, like I had this in, as I continued to have it in, I was a little bit less like convinced. I was like, by the time fall festivals come around in September, more movies are gonna come in that are gonna have way better reception, and something like Michael is probably gonna get dragged out. Like I don't think a movie can get in just because it's popular. Like a lot of the populist movies that get in are in because they're good. Like even Elvis had better reviews than this. All the blockbusters I've gotten in have been received well. Michael's been received extremely well from the audience, but not very well by critics. We'll just have to see how that turns out. But for now, I'm going to say it misses, but we'll see. If it gets in, like it probably gets like 8 nominations, which would be insane for a movie that's at a 39 on Metacritic, but we'll just have to see. I could see it coming back. I could see it just not coming back, but we'll just have to find out. Then we have Cry to Heaven, which is a new Tom Ford movie. Huge cast. Nicholas Hoult, Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Adele, the singer, Ciarán Hinds, Georgia Mackay, Mark Strong, Colin Firth, Paul Bettany, Owen Cooper from Adolescence, Hunter Schafer, Julianne Moore, Tandy Wayne Newton. Huge cast. This is a historical drama based on an Anne Rice novel. Yeah, Anne Rice. And it follows... This one also I had to go to IMDb for the premise. It follows a nobleman as he rises to fame as a soprano after his half-brother castrated him under the guidance of opera star Guido Maffeo. The reason why this is so low is that I really think this is probably going to be 2027. I still have it on here, like, in case they announce it for Venice, but if they don't announce it for Venice, I'm going to delete it from all my lists. So that's why it's lower for now. I just think it's probably 2027. At number 18, I have A Place in Hell, directed by Chloe Domont and written by her as well. She directed a Netflix movie called Fair Play, which I actually thought was good, with Phoebe Dynevor and Alden Ehrenreich for 2023. This one stars Michelle Williams, Daisy Edgar-Jones, and Andrew Scott. The plot explores the feud between a criminal defense attorney, played by Michelle Williams, and the younger lawyer brought in to replace her, who I'm assuming is Daisy Edgar-Jones, thwarting the former's ambitions. Sounds good. I did notice there's a severe lack of female directors on here. Female directors and black directors. Michael's the only film from a black director that I have on this list. And then as for female directors, I have The Invite in my 10, but then there's also Sense and Sensibility, A Place in Hell, and then my number 19 being Human, which we'll get into. But yeah, Place in Hell sounds great. It could be a huge showcase for Michelle Williams to finally win an acting Oscar. She's been nominated 5 other times. And maybe also Daisy Edgar-Jones gets a supporting nomination. We'll see. But yeah, it sounds good. We'll have to see. It comes out on Christmas, so we'll see if this does fall festivals or not, or if they just save it for the Christmas release. But at number 19, I have Being Human, which is directed by Sean Heder, who directed Best Picture winner Coda. And it's about disabled rights activist Judith Heumann. It stars Ruth Madeley as Judith Heumann, who is disabled in real life, and also stars Mark Ruffalo, Dylan O'Brien, Rob Delaney, and Ray Fisher. This is going to be the opening film for TIFF. Usually those don't get in, so I'm probably going to say no to this. I feel like Coda is kind of a one-hit wonder for Sean Heder, but we'll see if this is like a huge crowd pleaser or something. Maybe it could get in. And then number 20 is Disclosure Day by Steven Spielberg. Great film. Just don't think it's going to be an awards hit. It's not Oscar bait. It's sci-fi. And the audience doesn't really seem to care too much about it. Probably not going to break even at the box office. And it seems to be very divisive with people. So I'm going to say Disclosure Day doesn't get in. Maybe it gets score. No, it will get score because John Williams. So yeah, it's going to get score. Could get like sound or something, but I think that's probably going to be it. There could be some also buzz. There could also be buzz for Emily Blunt, but I'm not sure if she gets in without the movie. Next, we can do Best Director. So I have Martin McDonagh out front for Wild Horse 9. If the movie's winning, he'll probably win, like, to finally award him in director. At number 2, I have Javier Ambrossi and Javier Calvo for La Bola Negra. If the movie's in, obviously they're going to be in. This movie appears to have a huge budget, a lot of tech potential. Maybe they could win if Wild Horse 9 doesn't win, but we'll see. Christopher Nolan for The Odyssey. I think he'll be in as long as the movie's in. Maybe they could gatekeep him, like they like to gatekeep some blockbuster. They like to gatekeep blockbusters sometimes. But I think Nolan has a lot of respect in the Academy now. He's won for Oppenheimer. We'll see if he can win again. I feel like that would only happen if the Best Picture winner was like clearly not a director movie. If it was like a super variety, like if The Invite were to win Best Picture, I think maybe there would be an opening for Nolan to win director. But we'll see. We'll see. Then number 4, I have Alejandro Iñárritu for Digger. Obviously, if the movie's in, he'll be in. That movie's gonna have a huge budget, a lot of like stunning tech aspects. It'll be in. Number 5, I have Christian Mungiu for Fjord, another Cannes director. And so yeah, as long as the movie's in, he'll be in, like all the other Cannes directors. Could probably win EFA, the European Film Awards. Could get Golden Globe. Could get BAFTA. Critics' Choice and DGA won't do it, but yeah, I think he'll get in as long as the movie's in. At number 6, I have Phil Lord and Christopher Miller for Project Hail Mary. I think this is the type of thing that they would gatekeep. Although I can see them getting like DGA, Critics' Choice, maybe Golden Globe. They won't get BAFTA. So I'm going to say they get gatekeeped. like how they gatekeep Ridley Scott for The Martian. I think this is probably going to be a similar thing. Number 7, I have Tony Gilroy for Behemoth. If the movie's in, he'll probably get nominated. He got nominated for Michael Clayton, but I don't have the movie in, so I have him right on the outside. And number 8, I have Denis Villeneuve for Dune Part 3. His luck with these movies has not been good. Like, he missed for the first one, then he missed for Part 2. I guess if Dune 3 is, like, winning Best Picture, he'll probably win, and they'll finally nominate him. But if, like, the movie's gonna have diminishing returns compared to Dune 2, which I'm currently expecting, I have it getting one nomination less, but that's still diminishing returns. Then he'll probably miss again, which is unfortunate. And then number 9, I have Tom Ford Cry to Heaven. Again, I think it's probably 2027, but if it's 2026, maybe, I guess. And number 10, I have Ryusuke Hamaguchi for All of a Sudden. Another Cannes movie. So there's that. Oh. So yeah, that's Best Director. I feel decent about this. I think this is a solid 5. I have Wild Horse. I have McDonough, who got in for Banshees. Not for 3 Billboards, but got in. As long as the movie's winning, he'll probably win. Then you have your Cannes directors with the Javiers and Munju. And then you have your big budget blockbuster with The Odyssey, and then you have another big budget veteran with Iñárritu. Best Actress, I have Michelle Williams out front. She's playing a defense lawyer who I think defends men accused of sexual assault. So it's supposed to be a really unlikable character, but I think she can win. She's been nominated 5 times, still has never won. So a narrative could emerge, I think. I also think Julianne Moore could win for the debut if this is considered to be one of her career best performances. I think she's going to, based on the trailer, I think she's going to be great in it. So maybe she could win. Maybe Indy Navarrete could win for Obsession. If they campaign her in lead and she ends up winning, like, the lead campaign would have been worth it. I happen to think she would win easier in supporting, but it seems like everyone has just kind of accepted that she's probably going to be campaign lead. Maybe Focus can campaign her in supporting if they think they'll get a win easier, if she'll win easier there. And she's also a newer performer. This is her first big movie. I know she was on, like, Superman and Lois before, but this is her first big film. And here she has to compete with Julianne Moore and Michelle Williams. So I'm less, like, I don't think she would win against them, but maybe she could win, like, Critics' Choice, SAG, maybe Golden Globe. We'll just have to see. Then at number 4, I have Renate Reinsve for Fjord. She just got nominated last year for Sentimental Value. I heard her performance and Sebastian Stan's performance are a bit muted. But we'll just have to see if she can get, like, Globe and BAFTA. Critics' Choice and SAG won't touch her. Or Sebastian Stan. But we'll just have to see. I'd be tempted, like, to... I don't know if one's going to get in over... I don't know if they're just going to do Reinsve, if they're just going to do Sebastian Stan. I don't know if they'll both miss. I'm leaning towards either they'll both get in or they'll both miss. I have them both getting in for now. So, yeah, I feel like she'll probably get in, but we'll see. I could see Fjord just being picture, director, screenplay, international. But we'll see. And number 5, I have Mikey Madison for The Social Reckoning. Could get in, I guess, if the movie is somewhat okay. If the movie's just terrible, though, she'll miss. So, yeah. Yeah, she won for Nora. She seems to be doing a lot in the trailer for Social Reckoning. And Aaron Sorkin movies do get acting nominations. Being the Ricardos got 3. Steve Jobs, which he wrote, got 2. I have Social Reckoning getting 2 as well. Chicago 7 got an acting nomination for Sacha Baron Cohen. Molly's Game didn't, but I imagine Jessica Chastain was probably close. But yeah, I have Mikey Madison getting in for Social Reckoning. Then number 6, I have Sandra Hüller for Rose. I think she plays a woman who disguises herself as a man. She's going to be in a lot of makeup. So I think that helps. We'll see if she can get in. And then number 7, I have Cynthia Erivo for Prima Facie. This is also going to be at TIFF. and she's playing another criminal defense lawyer accusing men of sexual assault. Although I think Erivo is going to have more of like a reckoning or a conflicted character as compared to Michelle Williams, who I think is playing more of like a villain who loves defending the men. But yeah, Erivo could get in if she's like amazing in there. She's already been nominated before Harriet and Wicked, so we'll see. Then number 8, I have Virginie Efira for All of a Sudden. She could get in if the movie's in, I guess. 9, I have Emily Blunt for Disclosure Day. A lot of people have her in. I don't think she would get in without the movie. But we'll see if she could show up somewhere, like a Golden Globe or a SAG or something. And number 10, I have Ruth Madeley for The Human. Disabled actress playing a disabled activist, like a disabilities activist. So I guess if the movie's in, she'll get in, but I'm not sure if the movie's going to be in. Best actor. This category is competitive. Obviously, I have Tom Cruise up front for Digger. He's going to be transforming. He's going to have a different voice. If the movie's in, he'll probably just win. Although maybe there's a world where it's too obvious that he wins, and they give it to John Malkovich for Wild Horse 9. I do think he is tempting. John Malkovich is tempting. He's also never won. I think he's been nominated before, but he's never won an Oscar. He seems to be doing a lot in the trailer. I think he's going to get a very phenomenal performance in the movie. But so yeah, if Digger either flops or like Tom Cruise is just too obvious, then maybe John Malkovich could win. Or maybe he could go in supporting. We'll see. I think a supporting win would actually be easier because Tom Cruise isn't in supporting. But we'll see. I think he'll probably be lead for now, but he could be supporting. Number 3, I have Ryan Gosling for Project Hail Mary. Probably not a lock, but he is in practically every scene of the movie, and he's amazing in it. Probably some of Ryan Gosling's best work, and I could see him getting in everywhere. Number 4, I have Matt Damon for The Odyssey. Originally, I didn't have him in, but I've just come to the conclusion, like, if the movie's so huge and so undeniable, they're probably just going to nominate the face of the movie. Matt Damon is the face of The Odyssey. So if he's great in it and they want to nominate the movie everywhere, he'll come along with it. I mean, it took people a while to recognize that Michael B. Jordan was going to be getting in for Sinners, but he was the face of the movie, so they had to nominate him. And he won. He even won for that. So yeah, I think he'll get in as long as the movie's strong. Number 5, I have Sebastian Stan for Fjord. He's bald in it. I've heard his performance is a little bit like subdued, and it's a little more subtle, I guess. But I did hear a lot of praise for the performance as well. So if the movie's in, he could probably get in. But he doesn't have to because this is a competitive actor field. Like if Behemoth's a contender, Pedro Pascal would get nominated. I'd probably take out Sebastian Stan or Matt Damon maybe for him. But I think he only gets in if the movie gets in. Someone who probably doesn't have to get the movie. Someone who probably could get in without the movie getting in is John Turturro for The Only Living Pickpocket in New York. John Turturro has never been nominated for an Oscar before, and Sony Pictures Classics has this movie. Although I did hear it's not really a big showy performance or anything, so probably would just get enough of Sony Classics and him being overdue for a nomination. But not impossible, I suppose. Number 8, I have Jafar Jackson for Michael. I could see him getting Globe or SAG. But I just think if Michael's not in, he probably won't get in. But if Michael is in, he'll get nominated. Number 9, I have Andrew Scott for Elsinore. This movie just came on my radar recently, but apparently he's so great. Apparently he's great in it, and a lot of festival people think he could win. He's playing a real life theater actor, I'm pretty sure. So maybe he could be in if the movie comes out. Although I have heard it could be 2027. We'll see. And number 10, I have Robert Pattinson for Primetime. He's playing Chris Hansen, I think. And he's going to have a different voice, so he could get nominated for that. He's having a hell of a year this year with that, with Primetime, the drama, Dune 3, and The Odyssey. So maybe with his year being so strong, we'll have to nominate him for something. Best Supporting Actress. I have Mariana Di Girolamo out front for Wild Horse 9. She's not really in the trailer too much, but I have heard some people say she's a standout. So if she's great in the movie, maybe she could win. This is the one acting one I have for Wild Horse 9. I'm probably more confident that Malkovich would be the acting one for it, but I can't really predict that when I have Tom Cruise out front. But maybe she could win. We'll see. I do think Anne Hathaway could also win for The Odyssey. I've heard she's amazing in it, and she's having a hell of a year. She has had 5 movies this year: The Odyssey, End of Oak Street, Verity, the new Colin Hoover film, Mother Mary, and what was the other one? Devil Wears Prada too. Yeah, so 5 movies this year. She's in everything this year. So I guess like the story is, you had such a huge year this year. We're gonna award you with your second Oscar for this amazing performance. She's already won for Les Miserables, so we'll see. I think she can win. I have actually Penelope Cruz getting. You may be wondering why Penelope Cruz is there twice for The Invite and La Bola Negra. There is a rule now. If you haven't been aware, this has been news for a month. An actor can get nominated for 2 or more. Can get nominated for multiple performances now. So I do have Penelope Cruz getting it for The Invite, which I heard she's great in, and La Bola Negra, which I hear she's not in too much, but she makes an impression with her screen time. Probably similar to Judd Hirsch from The Fabelmans. And number 5, I have Daisy Edgar Jones for A Place in Hell, playing the rival to Michelle Williams. I could see her being great, and she's having another great year with this and Sense and Sensibility, so this could finally be the time to nominate Daisy Edgar Jones. Number 6, I have Indy Navarrete for Obsession. I have her getting nominated for lead, but I do think it's possible she goes supporting. And if she goes supporting, I'd probably have her on number 1. But it's a phenomenal performance. I'd love to see her win. I think she'd have an easier time winning in supporting than in lead. I'd also say she's more supporting, I guess. Bear's definitely the protagonist. He's basically in every scene. But I've just kind of come to accept that she's probably going to be lead, and that's fine. So I have her on the outside for now. Number 7, I have Sandra Hüller for Project Hail Mary. She's great in the movie. Could maybe get in as a coattail, but we'll see. Number 8, I have Parker Posey for Wild Horse 9. I guess she could also get in as a coattail, but I've heard she's not in the movie too much. I don't even think she's in it, aside from being on the phone, which you'll see in the trailer. So while people may want to be like, we want to nominate Parker Posey, if she's not really doing too much, they probably won't nominate her. We'll see, though. Number 9, I have Tayo Okamoto for All of a Sudden. So she and Virginia Afira are the 2 leads. She'll probably be supporting. Could maybe get like a Globe. Maybe she could maybe get a Globe nomination, but we'll see. I don't think she would get in if the movie's not getting in. And then number 10, I have Lola Duenas for La Bola Negra. She could maybe be like a Marina de Tavira for Roma, but I don't know if she'd get in with Penelope Cruz already being there. And I think Cruz, with her being the bigger name, she'd get in far easier. Supporting actor, I have Paul Giamatti out front for the debut. He's playing this demanding director. So I think he could win. If John Malkovich goes supporting, I'd have him winning, but I think he's going to be lead for now. Yeah, Paul Giamatti I have up front. Number 2, I have Sam Rockwell from Wild Horse 9. Totally getting nominated. Not sure if he'll win. He seems to be like a little more, based on the trailer, he seems to be a little more like the straight man. And John Malkovich seems to be a little bit more eccentric. But I think Sam Rockwell will get nominated either way, in either category, lead or supporting. I think John Goodman will get nominated for Digger. He's playing the President of the United States, and he's never been nominated. So there could be a narrative to emerge for John Goodman to finally get an Oscar nomination. Number 4, I have Riz Ahmed for Digger. I've heard he's like the second most prominent character, aside from Tom Cruise. So maybe he could get in. I could see him being a little more like a normal character, while all the other characters around him are goofy. I could see that happening, but I think like if his role's strong enough, he'll get in maybe. And number 5, I have Jeremy Strong for The Social Reckoning for playing Mark Zuckerberg. He's gonna be doing a lot in it. I initially didn't like what I saw in the trailer. It seemed a little bit SNL-like, but then I watched clips of him and the real life Mark Zuckerberg, and Jeremy Strong's doing a good job resembling him. So I think he could get in if the movie's somewhat in the conversation. It just can't be a total 40% on Rotten Tomatoes level flop. Number 6, this category's also become crowded in recent days. Number 6, I have Robert Pattinson for The Odyssey. I'm not sure whether it would be him or Tom Holland, but I'm leaning towards Pattinson because he's playing the villain. He's having a hell of a year, and maybe they want to recognize him for that. We'll see. Number 7, I have Edward Norton for The Invite. I've heard he's great in The Invite, but maybe with the category being a little bit more on the competitive side, he may miss for that. Number 8, I have Steve Buscemi for Wild Horse 9. I could see like them people just coming around to Steve Buscemi finally getting an Oscar nomination, but again, I'm just not sure how much he's actually going to be doing. It would be interesting for him, John Turturro, and John Goodman all get nominated because they're all huge collaborators with the Coen brothers. So there's that. And also be interesting for him and John Goodman to be nominated in the same category. No, because it would be Sully and Randall from Monsters, Inc. Yeah, Steve Buscemi, I have on the outside. Not quite convinced, but maybe the movie can come out and it'll just be undeniable. Number 9, I have Tom Holland for The Odyssey. He's playing the son of Odysseus. Could get in. We'll see. And then number 10, Coleman Domingo for Michael, playing Joe Jackson. If the movie's in, he'll probably be in because he's doing a lot in it. If the movie's not in, though, he'll probably just be gone. He probably won't get in. So, yeah, there's that. Now on to screenplay. Original first, I think Wild Horse 9 will win, as long as it's the best winning picture. Maybe it doesn't even need to win picture. Maybe it could finally be time for Martin McDonagh to win. Digger, if that's in picture, will get nominated. Both of those will probably be very funny, witty. Digger's going to be a satire. So there's that. I think Obsession, if it's in Best Picture, how does that not get screenplay? Again, that also has some darkly comedic moments. It's a phenomenal script. I could maybe see him winning if Digger and Wild Horse 9 don't win. Kind of like how Jordan Peele won for Get Out. But I think the other two are probably stronger. Fjord, if the movie's getting picture, it's getting screenplay. Maybe it doesn't even need to get picture to get screenplay, but I think it'd probably be a plus for that to get screenplay. To get picture to get screenplay. And number 5, I have The Debut. Makes a lot of sense for screenplay as well. I like this 5. What I wouldn't like is if when Behemoth comes out or premieres, if that becomes a contender as well, and these 5 are already contenders, that makes it torture to find out which one to eliminate. But Behemoth could get nominated, I guess. Number 7, I have Club Kid. Maybe that could be a one screenplay nominee. A Place in Hell at number 8. Saturn Return at number 9, which is from Greg Quidar, written by him and Clint Bentley. Greg Quidar directed Sing Sing and was a co-writer for Train Dreams. So for the third year in a row, we're going to get a Clint Bentley, Greg Quidar movie. They co-wrote both. They co-wrote Sing Sing, Train Dreams. Sing Sing was directed by Quidar. Train Dreams was directed by Bentley. And then Saturn Returns directed by Quidar as well. And Rachel Brosnahan's in this one. Maybe it could get in. We'll see. Number 10, I have Josephine, which was a huge hit at Sundance, but I don't really know if they're going to want to touch this movie with how serious the subject matter appears to be. And our last category is adapted screenplay. I have La Bola Negra winning. I think it's probably the biggest contender in this category, so it just makes sense. Project Hail Mary will get in. The Invite will get in, as long as it's in Best Picture. Maybe it doesn't even need to be in Best Picture. I think on its worst day, it's going to be a lone screenplay nominee. The Odyssey I have getting in because of how big the source material is. Maybe it can miss if it's not as screenplay heavy, but I think it's going to be like Frankenstein, where the source material is just too big to ignore. And number 5, I have All of a Sudden. I think that makes sense. There's probably a lot of dialogue in it, and it's going to be I've heard it's a slow movie. It's 3 hours 16 minutes, but I think there'll probably be enough dialogue in there for it to get nominated. Dune Part 3, if that's bigger than Dune 2, I guess. But if it's not, then no, because they didn't nominate Part 2 for screenplay. Social Reckoning, I don't really think so, but we'll see. Cry to Heaven, if that's 2026, maybe. Being Human, if that's in, maybe. And then The Adventures of Cliff Booth, which is written by Tarantino. Sequel to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I don't really have hopes for this one, though. I thought the trailer was fine, but I think David Fincher's lost his touch a little bit. I did not like The Killer, so we'll see how this one turns out. But yeah, that and The Social Reckoning, I'm very skeptical of both of those sequels. But yeah, those are my first Oscar predictions for the season. I'll be back in August to do more Oscar predictions. I'll have all the categories. We'll have festival lineups, and it should be fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.